He didn't tell me where he was. All I know is I got an email, I got a phone call. He said, "MeatMan, I need you to guest host my program today on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio Baton Rouge." And, of course, I said, "No problem, Cap. No problem, Cap. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for." And glad to be here, and I'm glad to have you there, as my man TK would say, as we got a lot of stuff to cover in the next 2 hours here on the program. In the next hour, we're going to visit with Trey Blossman at 4:20. I got a couple of interesting questions I'm going to ask Trey, so make sure you tune in for the whole program. Now, of course, for the first hour here on Pelican Sports Radio, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk a little NBA in the first couple of minutes here, maybe the first segment. And then in the next couple of segments, I got the point spread on every Saints game, the whole season. I got every one. I got the point spread on every game for the New Orleans Saints. I think this might be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. I got my notepad out, and what we're going to do is we're going to document. We're going to document how I think the Saints are going to do right here with the line that I got. It's a legit line. It's a legit line. I looked at the thing. It's pretty legit, and I think we can have a lot of fun with it today. So let's get the party started, and we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA game tonight, the fifth game of this Eastern Conference playoff series between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. Right now at Bookmaker. Bookmaker is the place that I like to use. The Cleveland Cavaliers are a 10-point favorite. The total on the game is 215. Cleveland is minus 600. You got to bet $600 to win 100 if you're going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the game outright on the money line. If you think Boston can pull the upset, $100 gets you back $447, $450, basically a 9-2 underdog. Wow. And obviously most people think that the Cleveland Cavaliers pretty much have this thing wrapped up. But, look, I'm in agreement. You're a 10-point favorite in Game 5 at Boston. At Boston, you're going to be a 15-point favorite again in Cleveland in Game 6. If you lose tonight, I mean, come on. I mean, it'll be hard to believe. It'd be hard to believe that a team could lose 3 straight times as a 10, 15, and probably 10-point favorite again. Of course, now the odds makers already got the line out for game number 1 of the 2017 NBA Finals, as they've already put in the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. We'll get to that in a second, but keep in mind, you know, the Super Bowl, we're all watching the Super Bowl. Atlanta Falcons, they've beaten the New England Patriots 28-3. I mean, this thing was all but over. People are leaving the Super Bowl party out here in Las Vegas, where I'm broadcasting live from, by the way. Man, it's hot out here. I can tell you right now, Cap, it's hot. It's over 100. It's going to get hotter. It gets hotter as the summer gets a little deeper. So, wow. Yep, I'm back out here in beautiful, sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports and gaming capital of the United States of America. Right, and, you know, look, it was 28-3. People were leaving the Super Bowl party. And next thing you know, Atlanta won the game. Atlanta lost the game. Next thing you know, the New England Patriots won the game. I mean, it was 28-3. It was 28-3. Atlanta, the owner of the Falcons, the guy, the Home Depot guy, Arthur Blank, had his wife with him on the sideline, and I tell you, her face, man, I tell you, you could just see it. It was 28-3. Her face was lit up like a Christmas tree. I'd never seen a woman so happy in my life. And it was 28-9, 28-12, and it was 29-19, and it's 9, blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, boom, the 28-3 lead that the Atlanta Falcons had was gone. And the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl. How about the World Series last year? The Cleveland Indians have a 3-1 lead on the Chicago Cubs. They got a Super Bowl They got a Major League Baseball World Series manager, Terry Francona. MeatMan's made 2 early mistakes. LeBron James picked up 4 fouls in the first quarter of the game the other night. MeatMan with 2 early mistakes. Of course, Terry Francona won a couple of World Series. He's got a 3-1 lead on a team that ain't won a World Series in 100 years. The losers, the Chicago Cubs. What happens? The Cubs come back, win 3 straight. They win the World Series. Wow. And, of course, last year in the NBA Finals, the Cleveland Cavaliers down 3-1. They got to do the impossible. Not only did they have to win 3 straight, but they had to win 2 games at Golden State. And they did it. They beat the Warriors 3 straight, and the Cleveland Cavaliers down 3-1. They win the NBA championship. So don't, if you're down 3-1, I mean, look, you're losing by 25 points in the Super Bowl midway through the third quarter. I mean, look, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But the odds makers don't see it happen. And they got Golden State a 7.5-point favorite in a game number 1 of the 2017 NBA Finals. The total for game 1 is 225. And Golden State minus 335 on the money line. You got to bet $335 to win 100 if you think Golden State is going to win game 1 straight up of the 2017 NBA Finals. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming back plus 270. I like Cleveland tonight, Cap. I ain't going to lie to everybody. I've had pretty much Golden State every game that they played their finals matchup and against San Antonio, the Spurs, and I pretty much had Cleveland every game. I mean, look, I know a lot of people just can't believe that I'm laying these kind of points, especially on the road. Them last 2 games, Golden State against Utah, my customers couldn't believe I was letting Utah get that many points. But, I mean, look, Golden State's the real deal. They're the real deal, Cap. Now, I don't know who I'm going with tonight. I mean, June the 1st, when the NBA Finals start. But I know tonight I'm taking the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm laying at 10. I'm going to lay the lumber here, Cap. I mean, look, Golden State's resting right now. Golden State's at home right now, and they're getting ready. And Cleveland wants some rest, too. There's no doubt about it. Cleveland can wrap this thing up. Today is May the 25th, and they would get off the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and the 31st. And then the NBA Finals would start a week from today, which would be Thursday, June the 1st. And I think that'd be good. That's why I'm expecting a monster effort out of the Cavaliers tonight. I'm expecting an all-go-out, everybody full-blown bombs ahead against an absolutely undermanned Boston Celtics team. I mean, without Isaiah Thomas out there on the floor, their best player, their all-star. I mean, I just don't see how the Boston Celtics have any chance. I couldn't believe they won Game 3. I ain't going to lie to you, Cap. You're down 16 points. You just lost the first 2 games at home of a 7-game series. You lost Game 2 by 46 points. Now you're down 16 in Game 3 on the road without your best player. I couldn't believe the Boston Celtics came back. Couldn't believe it. But I don't see that happening tonight. I see a beating happening tonight. I see an absolute beating taking place tonight. I'm going to lay the 10 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, it opened 8.5. It opened 8.5, and it went up to 10, so I'm losing a little value here. If I'd have got down early, 8.5, but I'm going to lay the 10. I'm going to lay the double digits here tonight. Put the MeatMan down for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Minus the 10 points. Thursday night. This game's going to tip off at 7:30 Central Time. Out there in Baton Rouge, 5:30 Pacific Time. Out here in Las Vegas where I'm at. Put me down. I'll take the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road. Minus the 10 points. All right, we got to take a break. We got to take a commercial break. Now, if you tuned into the program today, and you're looking for Tommy Christ and TK, he is not here with us today. TK is away for the day. He asked the MeatMan to come in and take over the microphone. Now, I'm not going to be doing my show tomorrow. Normally, I do a program every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. here on 9, 10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio Baton Rouge. It's called Sportsline. Normally, I do my show, but instead of doing the show tomorrow, heck, I'm just going to do TK's show today, and then I'll go ahead and take tomorrow off. Now, don't forget, when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to talk about the New Orleans Saints. I got the point spreads for all 16 Saints games. I got the point spread for all 16 New Orleans Saints games in 2017. So we're going to do that right after this commercial break. So don't touch that dial, Cap. You're listening to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. And we're doing it all right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. All right. And welcome back to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm guest hosting today for the future Louisiana Broadcasting Hall of Famer, Tommy Chrysan. I wonder if I'll get a ticket. I wonder if I'll get a ticket to the induction ceremony. I wonder. I mean, TK's got a lot of friends. He knows a lot of people in the business. I don't know. I might not be able to get one. That'd be something. I tell you, I might actually get offended by that. I haven't been offended by anything in a long time. You really gotta try to offend a meat man for me to get offended. I don't know, man, but I'll find my way in. I'll bribe the guy at the door. I don't have a ticket. I just have $100 bills. How many tickets, bills do you need? Just give me two tickets and you'll get in, sir. So, I mean, look, believe me, I'll get in. I will get in. All right, now, once again, TK is away from the microphone. He didn't tell me why. One time I guest hosted the show, it was Grandparents' Day. And one time I guest hosted the show, he told me he had some business to take care of. I don't even know what that meant. Business. What kind of business you got to be taken care of? The word business, because that could mean anything. The word business. I got some business I got to take care of. All right, now speaking of business, believe it or not, I got the point spread for every New Orleans Saints game being played this season. That's hard to believe. I got the point spread for everyone. Now, of course, we all know what the week 1 point spread is, as the New Orleans Saints, they're going to be taking on the Minnesota Vikings. That's at first. I think it's the first of the 2 Monday night games. Yes, the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. That's the first game. And then the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos, that is the second game on the Monday night thing. And I'll tell you, I'm kind of looking forward to this game because we got Adrian Peterson. He is going back to Minnesota. Wow. In that game, Minnesota is a 3.5-point favorite, and the total is 48. Let me get the pad here. Let me get the notepad here. I think the Saints are going to win this game. I think the Saints win this game. I think, let me write this down here. Let me make sure I don't lose this here. This is documented. We're going to document this right here on the radio. All right, so week number 1, the Saints are playing Minnesota. I think the Saints could beat the Vikings. I think Drew Brees knows if we start out the season 0-1, we start out the season 1-3. Like we did last year right before the break. Man, it's so hard to overcome that because even though the NFC doesn't have a dominant team, the NFC is very competitive. You got the Dallas Cowboys. You got the New York Giants. You got the Seattle Seahawks. You got the Carolina Panthers. You got the defending NFC champion Atlanta Falcons. I mean, you got all sorts of good teams in the NFC where it's going to be easy to get 6 for the playoffs. And, you got the division winners and then you got the wild card teams. And the bottom line is, look, the Saints cannot start out 0-1, especially with week 2 having the New England Patriots visit the Superdome. So week number 1, I'm going to put the Saints down for a winner. I'm going to put the Saints down, New Orleans Saints. I'm going to take them plus the 3.5. I think that's a good play. All right, now week 2, Saints start out the season as an underdog. The first 2 games of the year as a week number 2. Let's see what we got here. Week number 2, the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, are going to play the New England Patriots. Right now, I'm seeing the Patriots as about a 5-point favorite. Looks like New England's about a 5-point favorite against the New Orleans Saints. Now, there's no over-unders on any of this. The over-unders would be very tricky to try to make, especially week 13, week 14, week 15. But the point spreads, you can kind of make them in advance like this thing. The Saints getting 5 at home, week number 2 of the NFL season. Wow. Saints a home dog getting 5 from the New England Patriots, who are going to be coming off of a Thursday night football game to open the season against the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow. Boy, Brandon Cooks, he'll be coming back to the Superdome for the first time. He'll be looking to make a statement after the Saints traded him to the New England Patriots. Of course, once again, man, the Saints got to be able to win this game. You got to be able to hold serve at home. You want to make it to the playoffs, you got to go 7-1 at home. You got to win all your home games, 8-0. You can't go 5-3 at home and expect to go 5-3 or 4-4 on the road and try to sneak in with a 9-7 or a 10-6 record. You got to win all your games at home. Give me the Saints, man. Give me the Hoodatters. Give me the Bless You Boys. Give me the Black and Gold. Give me the Cha-Chings in week number 2. Give me New Orleans plus the 5 at home against the New England Patriots. All right, now week number 3. Let's see. Week number 3, the Saints go on the road, and they're an underdog again. The Saints, look, 3 weeks in a row to start the season. The Saints are the underdog. This time to the Carolina Panthers. Carolina's a 3-point favorite, minus $1.20. Saints are plus 3, even money. Wow. Saints start out the season as an underdog in the first 3 games. They played the defending Super Bowl champions. They played a Minnesota Vikings week 1, and now they're playing a division rival, the Carolina Panthers, plus the 3. Wow, I know people are not going to believe what I'm going to say. I'm going to take the Saints again. I don't know about this Carolina Panthers team. I tell you, I don't know, man. Ever since Cam Newton didn't try to recover that fumble in the Super Bowl, I don't know what to think. Cap. So, I don't know, man. I just think this is a winnable game for the Saints. Remember, the Saints started out last year 0-3, and they could have won 2 out of those 3 games. And I think that's sticking in the Saints' mind. If you start at 0-3, you can forget about it. Now you got to go 10-3 the rest of the season. I mean, it's just not going to happen. I think the Saints win this game. They start out the season 3-0, and they take an early lead in the NFC South. Give me the Saints, week 3, number 3. Give me the New Orleans Saints, plus the 3, plus $1, even money. I don't have to lay no juice there. Basically, the odds makers couldn't decide whether to give the Saints 3 or 3.5, so they kind of went in the middle. They just made it 3, even money, so you don't have to bet the juice. You don't have to bet 110 to win $1. You just got to bet $1 to win $1. And if you want the Panthers minus 3, you got to bet 120 to win $1. You got to bet that extra 10 cents on the juice. All right, we're 3 weeks in. We got 13 weeks to go. What we're doing is we're looking at the Saints schedule for the 2017 season. I got the point spread on every game, and through 3 weeks I got the Saints 3-0 straight up and against the number because they're an underdog in all 3 games. 3 down, 13 to go. Don't touch that dial, Cap. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm guest hosting today for Tommy Chrysan right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR. Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. All right. And welcome back to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm guest hosting today for the future Louisiana Broadcasting Hall of Famer, Thomas Chrysan. I don't know where he is today, Cap. He didn't tell me. First time I did the show, he told me he was going to Grandparents' Day. And the last time I did the show, he told me he was going to take care of some business. So I don't know what he's doing today. He wouldn't tell me. He went from Grandparents' Day to take care of some business. So that's just a total secret. He didn't tell the beat man what he's doing. He didn't even tell me what he's doing. He didn't tell me where he was going or nothing. Just said, hey, can you guest host the show for me on Thursday? I said, sure, Cap. I said, no problem. He said, what about Friday? I said, well, don't worry about the show on Friday. I'll just do the show on Thursday. I'll take off Friday. I'll go to the buffet. I'll get there early for the buffet, go pay for the lunch and get the dinner, Cap. That's how you do it. You get a buy one, get one free coupon. And then you go in about 20 minutes before dinner starts. You get a buy one, get one free at the lunch price. You sit down, you order your drink, your soda, milk, juice, whatever you're going to have. You go get your salad, and you eat the salad, and you go back to the buffet line, and all the lunch stuff is gone, and all the dinner stuff is out. It's miraculous how it works, man. And believe me, you got a lot of casinos that actually close between lunch and dinner, and then you got a lot of casinos that just go straight through. Some of them care, some of them don't care. The bottom line, brother, you got to know all the tricks, all the trades when you're living out here in Sin City. So no show on Friday from the MeatMan, no Sportsline Radio. Usually as 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on 910 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. But since I'm guest hosting today for Tommy Chrysan, I'm not going to do the show tomorrow on Friday, so our next show will be in June. It'll be in June, Cap. It'll be June the 2nd, so make sure you tune in Friday, June the 2nd. We'll be talking about the Belmont. I don't know if we can be talking about, no, I think it's the week after. I can't believe I lost the Preakness. Can you believe my horse, Classic Empire, didn't win the Preakness? That was mind-boggling. I just can't believe I lost that. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that horse lost that race. I mean, that's just mind-boggling. All the class. I mean, that Classic Empire was a class horse. And the horse that won the race, he's a good horse. There's nothing wrong with him, just like I said in the broadcast last week. But there was no way that horse should have beat the Classic Empire. Man. All right, let's keep going here. What we've been doing up for the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, I got the point spread on every Saints game this season. The New Orleans Saints, all 16 games. I got the point spread. We're in week number 4. The Saints are going to London, and they're an underdog again. Can you believe that? To the Miami Dolphins this time. Miami's a 3-point favorite against the New Orleans Saints. So the Saints start out the season. They're an underdog in the first 4 games. They're playing 2 on the road. They're playing 1 in London. And they play 1 game at home. Wow. What a tough way to start the season. The Miami Dolphins, a playoff team from last year. Of course, the New England Patriots, week number 2, they won the Super Bowl. So, believe me, it's a tough start to the season. I got the Saints 3-0 straight up and against the spread through the first 3 weeks of the season, and I'm going to give them another win, man. I'm going to give them another win. I like the Saints there in this spot. I like the Saints over the Dolphins. The Dolphins ain't any better than the Saints. Miami got hot with a running back who had 3 200-yard games and kind of turned their season around. But I think the Saints are going to be a little better than people are giving them credit for. And I mean, look, if you can't beat the Miami Dolphins on a neutral field outside of the country, where really nobody will have any kind of advantage in the fan base, I think the Saints win this, man. I think the Saints win this. I know everybody thinks I'm nuts here because, believe me, I've made a lot of money in the past betting against the Saints, but I think the Saints, like I said, I think they're all in this year. They got to have a winning year this year because if not, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to keep the coach and the quarterback and the general manager if you have 4 straight losing seasons? I mean, who does that? Who does that? I mean, ain't nobody does that. I mean, I know that if you got rid of Drew Brees, 15 teams would be looking to pick him up. I know if we fired Sean Payton, there'd be 10 NFL teams ready to fire their head coach and give him the job. But, I mean, gee whiz. I mean, look, I know they would be hot commodities. And I know teams would pick him up immediately. But what are we going to do? Have 4 straight losing seasons? So I think the Saints are going all in here. I think they're going all in here. All right, week number 5. Week number 5. Let's see something here. Week number 5. I know the Saints have a bye week sooner or later. It's probably the week after they go to London. That would make perfect sense, to be honest with you. So I think they have a bye week. I'm not really sure. So we'll just put bye week in the on the pad here, and we'll look for week number 6. Let's go to week number 6, and let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Week 6. All right, let's see. The Saints, the New Orleans Saints, in week number 6, we're playing the Detroit Lions, and we're finally favored. Yep, it took 5 games for the New Orleans Saints to be the favorite in a football game, and it's against the Detroit Lions. Saints are a 2.5-point favorite, minus $1.20. The Detroit Lions are plus 2.5 even money. So if you want the Saints, instead of betting 11 to win 10, 110 to win 100, you got to bet 12 to win 10, or 120 to win 100. What the odds makers have done here is they've given the Saints a break. They give you a break on the point spread because, who wants to lay 3? I'd rather lay 2.5 minus $1.20 than lay 3 even money. At least I got a chance to win, especially if it goes to overtime. Remember, they got a new overtime rule in the NFL. It's just 10 minutes. Overtime is just going to be 10 minutes. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, we're a long way from the start of the NFL regular season. We got all of July, all of August, the preseason in August, all of June. So 2 full months of nothing, June and July. Then we got a month of preseason football. And then the NFL finally starts the regular season in September. So we got a long way to go here. I like the Saints here. Detroit went into the Superdome and beat the Saints last year. It was the only game that the Detroit Lions weren't trailing in at some point in the game, which is pretty hard to believe, okay? They were the Detroit, every game they played in, they were trailing in at one point, except the Saints. They went coast to coast against New Orleans. They never trailed. I think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure the Detroit Lions came into the Mercedes-Benz Superdome and beat the Saints last year. We got a little revenge here. So week number 6, I'm going to take the Saints, man. I know people are saying to themselves, "Are you going to pick?" I might pick them to go 16-0. Who knows? I might pick them to go. I mean, look, I got them as a favorite now. Minus 2.5, minus $1.20 against Detroit. Wow. All right, let's see. Week number 7. The Hoot-Hatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold of Cha-Chings. They are playing the Green Bay Packers. Wow. Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. I like Brett Favre. He used to play at Southern Mississippi. Remember, he got Curly Holman the job at LSU. I can see why people in Baton Rouge wouldn't really like Brett Favre. Without Brett Favre, you don't have Curly Holman. Wow. Drew Brees against Aaron Rodgers. What a game this is going to be. Man, the spread seems a little high, though. 7.5. I mean, are the Packers really 7.5 points better than the Saints? I don't know about all that, Cap. I don't know about all that. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to think about that. Man, I tell you, the team that wins the game covers the spread over 80% of the time. But man, this might be one of the 20% time where a team might lose, but still cover the spread. There's no way I'm giving the Hoot-Hatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold, the Cha-Chings over a touchdown or anything. The way they can score, the way Drew Brees can throw the football, the way the Saints offense works. I mean, look, you can't give them 2 scores. Now, I know you can say, well, 8 points is a score, blah. I know we can get all technical and all that. We get all technical and all that, but week number 7, I don't know if the Saints are going to win the game or not, but I will definitely take the Hoot-Hatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold, the Cha-Chings, plus the 7.5 points on the road against the Green Bay Packers. All right, we've got to take another break. Got to take another commercial break here. What you're doing is you're listening to a special edition of Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. Tommy Krysan, my man, he's off today, and he asked me, the MeatMan, Dave Scandaliato, to guest host his program today. And that's what we're doing, and I figured it'd be interesting. I got the point spread on all 16 Saints games this year. I got the point spread on every one. We're going week by week. We're up to week number 7, as we just took the Saints plus 7.5 against the Green Bay Packers. So week 7 in, we still got 10 weeks still to go. All 10 weeks include a Saints game, which they had their bye week. I think they had their bye week in week number 5. I guess we'll figure it all out as we keep going. So don't touch that dial, Cap. You're listening to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. And we're doing it all right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. All right. And welcome back to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm guest hosting today for the future Louisiana Broadcasting Hall of Famer, Tommy Chrysan. And what we've been doing in the first hour here is I got the point spread on all the Saints games. I should have everyone except the last one. Week 17, because, you got a lot of teams that rest players and this and that and the other thing. So I don't have the point spreads for week 17. But I got all the Saints point spreads, all the New Orleans point spreads for the first 16 weeks of the season. Through the first 7 weeks, Saints played 6 games. They had a bye week. I got the Saints 5-1 straight up and 6-0 against the spread. I've gotten a lot of text messages in the last hour accusing me of being drunk, being loaded, being stoned, being this, being that. I think the Saints are going to have a good year this year. I don't know why. I guess the reason why, it's all or nothing, man. It's all or nothing for the Saints. 3 straight losing seasons. I mean, come on, we have another losing season. What are we going to do? Keep everybody around? I mean, come on, man. Come on. I mean, once again, I know somebody would pick Drew Brees up in a second. I know somebody would pick up Sean Payton in a second. But, I mean, really, we're going to keep everybody around and go for 5 straight losing seasons? I mean, wow. Wow. I mean, geez, criminy. So, all right, we're in week number 8 right now. And the Saints are going to play host to the Chicago Bears. Only the second time in 2017 that the Saints are a favorite in a game. Through the first 7 games that they've played, with this one included, the Saints are an underdog in 5 of them, and they're a favorite in 2. They're a 6-point favorite at home against the Chicago Bears. Man, I tell you, there's nothing better than a 6-point favorite that loses outright. That's the bookie's best friend. A big-time bookie told me that one time. His best friend is a 6-point favorite that loses outright, because what happens is you get the favorite, everybody teases it down to a picket on them teaser cards, and, man, I could blow the whole card up. The bookie's best friend is a 6-point favorite that loses outright, but the team that wins the game covers the spread 80-something% of the time. The Saints are going to beat the Chicago Bears. I mean, come on, Cap. If you can't beat the Chicago Bears, a team that when they made their pick in the draft this year, I mean, they looked dysfunctional when they did that. They're terrible on the field. They made themselves look like total fools on day 1 of the draft in round 1. Man, you got to believe right now at this point in life that the New Orleans Saints can beat the Chicago Bears. And if they beat the Bears, they're probably going to beat them by 6 points or more. I'll take the New Orleans Saints -6 at home against Chicago in week number 8. All right, week number 9. Let's see, week number 9. Let me make sure I got it here, because we're clicking as we're going, brother. We're clicking as we're going. Week number 9, the Saints play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Superdome. Back-to-back games in the Superdome. And wow, this time the Saints are the favorite. Again, just 1.5 points against Tampa Bay. Wow, the Buccaneers have come a long way since drafting Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston's the real deal, but he still needs time to develop. And, man, look, once again, I think this is going to be a much improved Saints team, and they got to be able to beat the Buccaneers, man. If you can't beat the Buccaneers at home, man, you're going to have a long season. I mean, come on, man, it's Tampa Bay. They ain't that good. And the Saints, man, look, they loading up. This is it, man. It's do or die. The whole thing rides on this season right here. We're either going to blow the team up, or we're going to do pretty good. We're either going to have a losing season this year, we're going to blow the whole thing up and start over, or we're going to have a decent team and we're going to make a playoff run. If we're going to have a decent team to make a playoff run in week number 9, we got to be able to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Put me down for the Saints -1.5 at home against Tampa Bay. Week number 10, the New Orleans Saints are going to play the Buffalo Bills on the road. The Buffalo Bills are a 2-point home favorite against the New Orleans Saints in week number 10. Saints are going to beat Buffalo, man. I'm telling you, man, Saints are going to beat the Bills, man. The Bills ain't got nothing. Come on, the Bills haven't made the playoffs in 20 years. They got a new head coach. They don't know what to do with the quarterback and all that. I mean, come on, Cap. Come on, Cap. The Saints can beat the Bills. The Saints can beat the Buffalo Bills. I'm not impressed with the Buffalo Bills. I'm not impressed with them by any stretch of the imagination. I think they should have kept Rex Ryan. You got to remember, Buffalo sucks. You can't blame the Bills' woes on Rex Ryan. He did pretty good in the 3 years that he was there. When you consider the Buffalo Bills ain't made the playoffs in the last 20 years, no way, man. The Hoodatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold, the Chings, they're going into Buffalo week number 10. And they're going to take out the Bills, Cap. Remember where you heard it from first, from the MeatMan on May 25th, 2017. I'm predicting this game months and months and months in advance. Give me the New Orleans Saints plus the 2 on the road, week 10 against the Buffalo Bills. All right, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for hour number 1 of Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. When we come back in hour number 2, we're going to go over weeks 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. No point spreads out on week 17 for the Saints because that's usually the week people rest teams, rest players, and people don't play, and this and that and the other thing. So it's tough to make the lines for week 17. But we got 6 more Saints games still to come. We're also going to visit with Trey Blossman at 4:20 in hour number 2. I got some interesting questions that I'm going to ask Mr. Blossman during our talk. So we got a lot of stuff still to come here on Pelican Sports Radio. So don't touch that dial. You're listening to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'm guest hosting today for Tommy Krysan, who is out for the day. And don't touch that dial, Cap. You're listening to this program right here on 910 AM WBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We'll be right back, Cap. Don't touch that dial. All right. And welcome back to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I am broadcasting live from beautiful, sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports and gaming capital of the United States of America. And you're listening to this program right here on 910 AM WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. And for everybody out there wondering, where is Tommy Krysan at? He took the day off. And yes, the MeatMan, if I would do the program, and even though I'm in Las Vegas, what technology can't deliver, brother? Yep, so I told TK I'd be more than happy to do the show for him. I'm not sure where he's at. I've guest hosted Tommy's show a couple of times in my life. One time he went to Grandparents' Day. One time he said he had to go take care of some business. To this day, I still don't know what that was. Business. I mean, I could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Business. I'm going to take care of some business. This time he didn't even tell me at all. Top secret. Must be classified what he's going to be doing. Top secret, confidential, classified, and he wouldn't be able to tell me. That's all right, though. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here, as TK would say, and I'm glad to have you there. What we've been doing for the last 40 minutes or so, I got the point spread on every New Orleans Saints game this year, except for Week 17. I got the point spread on all 15 Saints games from week number 1 to week number 16. The bye week for the Saints is week number 5. We're on week number 11 right now. Before we do that, though, a quick reminder, 4:20 p.m. Central Time, about 13 minutes from now, we're going to be joined by Trey Blossman every Tuesday and Thursday here on Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. Trey drops in, and what we'll do is if we don't get through all of the games, we'll talk with Trey, and the last 15 minutes of the show or so, we will wrap up the NFL season for the New Orleans Saints. Don't forget, you'll be able to watch the rebroadcast of this radio program on YouTube. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to title it, but when you Google it or put YouTube, always put my name, Dave the MeatMan Scandaliato. And for this YouTube video, you would probably want to put Saints season win totals, point spreads, over-under, stuff like that. Those keywords, over-under, season win totals, point spreads, New Orleans Saints, Dave the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'm sure if you put all of that in a Google search engine, the video would pop up, especially if you go to the video section of Google. So, all right. Of course, you can always do it on YouTube and forget about Google, but MeatMan loves him some Google, brother. I love Google, and the Google search engine loves the MeatMan. It's a match made in heaven. Thank God for Google, brother. Thank God for YouTube. All right, week 11. The Hoot Hatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold, the Chings, they're going to play host to the Washington Redskins. Saints are a 2.5-point favorite against Washington. And, man, I tell you, this is a tough one to pick, but I'm going with the Saints. First off, I think by week 11, Saints will probably be about a 5-point favorite in this game. You got to remember, this game isn't going to be played for like 6 months. I mean, it's May the 25th. We got June, July, August, September, October. This game ain't going to be played till November. So the point spread I'm giving out here, it's a legitimate point spread, don't get me wrong. But obviously it's subject to change. Saints might suck so bad that Washington might be a 2.5-point favorite come game time. So it's tough to make a line 6 months in advance because of injuries, especially to the quarterback. God forbid Kirk Cousins goes down for the Redskins or something happens to Drew Brees with the Saints, and you could pretty much end the season right there. I think the Saints are going to have a really good season in 2017. It's all or nothing, man. After 3 straight 7-9s, man, you can't possibly have another losing season. And the Saints have kind of, look, they've picked up a few players. I think they're going to make a push, man. You got to remember, after, the Saints started out 0-3. So, really, the Saints kind of went 7-6 the final 13 games of the season. They're not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. They just need a couple of more good players, especially on defense. I think we might get that with the Saints this year. We've seen Carolina go to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. We've seen Atlanta go to the Super Bowl last year. Hey, why not the New Orleans Saints? Why not? Why not? All right, week number 12. The Hoot-Hatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold, the Cha-Chings are going to play the Los Angeles Rams. Wow. 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 Saints are a 2-point favorite. I'm actually going to give this one to the Rams. I know a lot of people are going, wow. Wow. Yep. I'm going to give this to the Rams. This is going to be a payback game for the Saints. After what the Saints did to Los Angeles last year, running up the score on Los Angeles, I think they're going to have something to play for. This could be a bad spot for the Saints. This could be a bad spot. First off, the odds makers are pretty much telling you this is going to be a bad spot for the Saints. You mean to tell me the New Orleans Saints, a team that absolutely crushed the Rams last year. I mean, they beat the Rams like a rented mule, brother, in the Superdome last year as a big favorite. I think they were 2-touchdown favorite, maybe even higher. I mean, and now all of a sudden, the point spread is just 2. Man, believe me, the odds makers are begging you. They're begging you in this spot to take the New Orleans Saints. But me being a bookie, ex-bookie, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the tables on my fellow compadres, man. I'm not going to fall for the trap. And if I lose, I lose. It is what it is, man. That's how you gamble. Sometimes you bet the team. Sometimes you bet the number. And in week number 12 of the NFL regular season, I'm betting the number, Cap. I'm betting the number. I'm going to take the LA Rams. I'm going to take the LA Rams plus the 2 against the Saints. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, MeatMan, you have us 11-0 against the spread, or 10-0 against the spread heading into this. This was the one game that you figured that the Saints are going to win. Well, that's how it works sometimes. Remember when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl about a decade ago? They went 14-2. Both losses were to the Saints. Believe me, sometimes football teams who win Super Bowls just lay an egg sometime. I don't know, man. I like revenge games. I like payback games. This is definitely going to be a payback game for the Rams. I mean, the Saints really tried to humiliate Los Angeles last year in the Superdome. And, look, I like betting revenge games. I like betting games like that. And unfortunately, I think that might happen. So week 12, I'll take the Los Angeles Rams at home plus the 2 points against the New Orleans Saints. All right, week number 13. Week 13, it's the Carolina Panthers coming to the New Orleans Saints. Week 13, the Panthers visit the Saints. New Orleans is a 2.5-point favorite in this spot. New Orleans a 2.5-point favorite. I think they're going to win the game. I think the Saints are going to win all of their games at home this year. They have to win all of their games at home. None of this 4-4 at home. None of this having a losing record at home. You got to win at home. You got to have a winning season at home. You should have beat the Oakland Raiders last year, week 1 at home. You should have beat the Denver Broncos when they came in the Superdome and beat the Saints. I mean, the Saints had so many chances last year to have a good home team, but they gave it away late, game after game after game after game. And I think that is the single most important thing for the Saints in 2017 is protect home court. I think they're going to do it here. I think they're going to sweep the Panthers in 2017. So week 13, put the MeatMan down for the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, -2.5 against the Carolina Panthers. All right, week 14. Week number 14. The New Orleans Saints on, looks like Thursday night, they're going to play the Atlanta Falcons. Wow. They're going to play the Atlanta Falcons. I think it's the first time all year they play the Atlanta Falcons, which means they're going to play them twice right at the end of the season. Wow. Wow. Right now, on a Thursday night game, December the 7th, 2017, the Atlanta Falcons are a 7-point favorite against the New Orleans Saints. I literally love the Saints more than life itself. More than life itself. Everybody knows by the time this game kicks off, the Saints are going to be favored. Be a pick at best. Atlanta's going to have a bad year. They're never going to recover from what happened to them in the Super Bowl. A 28-3 lead midway through the third quarter. I mean, this thing was over with, brother. And all of a sudden, a couple of 2-point conversions, this, that, and the other thing. We're in overtime. New England wins the coin toss, and the Patriots drive the ball out of the field and get the touchdown. I can see why right now in life you would think the Atlanta Falcons would be a 7-point favorite against the New Orleans Saints. But come December, brother, this was going to be a lot different than it actually looks right now. So this is an easy call. This is probably the easiest one of the whole deal. Week 14, give me the Saints plus a 7 against the Atlanta Falcons. That one's almost too easy, Cap. That one's almost too easy right there. All right, week number 15. Week number 15. The Hoot-Hatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold, the Cha-Chings. They're going to play, the Jets. The Jets, Jets. You got to win this one, Cap. Got to win this game right here. I mean, come on, man. The Jets, Saints are a 6.5-point favorite against the New York Jets. You got to win this one, brother. You got to win this game right here. I mean, come on, man. The Jets, usually by this time of the year, they're in absolute turmoil. You got that Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think he's with the Jets anymore, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, if the New Orleans Saints can't beat the New York Jets, man, it's over with, brother. It's over with. Right now, they're a 6.5-point favorite, almost a full touchdown. But I'm going to go ahead and lay that, man, in week number 15. In week number 15, put the MeatMan down for the New Orleans Saints, -6.5 against the New York Jets. Wow. All right, week 16, the final week. We don't have the lines for week 17 because that's usually when a lot of teams rest players and stuff like that. So they didn't put the lines out for week 17. But we do have the week 16 line. And the Saints are going to play the Falcons again 2 times in 3 weeks. It'll be the Dirty Birds and the Black and Gold, brother. Wow. 2 times in 3 weeks. Week 16. This time's going to be in the Superdome. The game's a pick it. Saints, Falcons, the game's a pick it. Wow. No favorite. Nobody's a favorite. Even Stevens, Cap. Even Stevens. And look, I think by game time, the Saints might be the same 7-point favorite that Atlanta was listed early in that week 14 game. Saints are going to be favored in this game. No doubt about it. So it makes perfect sense to take the Saints in this spot and not have to lay any points. Once again, I think the Saints are going to have a good year. I think they're going to do very well at home. And Atlanta, I think, is going to go in a tank, man. Atlanta's going to have a bad year. Man, that loss in the Super Bowl is going to come back to haunt Atlanta for a long time. I'm going to be fading the Falcons all season long, and that includes Week 16 as the New Orleans Saints at home in a picket against the Atlanta Falcons. So, all right, let's see. We got, I got the Saints through 16 weeks, which is 15 games because they have the bye week, week 5. I got the Saints going 13-2 straight up, and I got them going 13-2 against the spread. I might even actually have them 14-1 against the spread. So put me down for the New Orleans Saints going 13-2. 13-2 straight up on the season. I got them losing to the Los Angeles Rams, and, well, you got to figure I got them losing somewhere else, Cap. I know they'll probably lose the last week of the season because I got them going 14. I guess I got them going 14-1. 14-1 with a loss to the Los Angeles Rams. That might be their only win. They might be 1-14 with one win against the Rams. Who knows? But that's it, Cap. That's it. That's all 16 weeks, the first 16 weeks for the Saints. They got a bye week. They got 15 games. I just gave you the point spread on all 15 games. And this will be documented on YouTube for the world to see for the rest of my life, Cap. Even if I lay an egg and look like a total fool, I'm never going to delete the video of this radio show. All right, we got to take a break. We got to take a break because we got Trey Blossman waiting to join the party here. My name's Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'm guest hosting today for Tommy Krysan, and you're listening to this program right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV, right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Don't touch that dial, Cap. We'll be right back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me? All right. Right. That'd be pretty crappy because he could have easily said he didn't want to come on, and I would have just went without him without missing a beat. So, that would be pretty shitty if he doesn't pick up because you got it. See you later. I'm going to leave this phone on, so I'm just going to put it down. All right, you got it. welcome back to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm sitting in today for Tommy Chrysan, the future Louisiana Broadcasting Hall of Famer. I'm not sure where TK is today. Last time I did his show, he was doing some business. The time before that, it was Grandparents' Day. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but TK will be back, and the MeatMan. By the way, I will not be doing my show that I normally do here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio Baton Rouge. I will not be doing my show on Friday, tomorrow. I'm not going to do the show tomorrow that I normally do from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. I'm not going to do that program because I'm guest hosting today for Tommy Chrysan. So no show tomorrow from the MeatMan from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., but I will return to my normal spot 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. next Friday as we're talking NBA basketball. The finals will be underway. We're talking Major League Baseball. And we're also going to be talking about the Belmont Stakes. I'm not sure who's going to be running in the Belmont Stakes. I can't imagine Classic Empire is going to run in it because, heck, he can't even go a mile and 3/16. I don't know, he's going to go a mile and a half. And it'd be hard to believe they're going to throw Always Dreaming back on the track after that total disaster in the Preakness. Be hard to believe he'll be racing 3 weeks later. So we're set up for a pretty interesting Belmont race. So we're set up for a pretty interesting race as we might have all sorts of new horses in this thing. We might have horses we never heard of running into Belmont. So I'll be looking forward to talking about all of that stuff like we do every Friday. We're just not going to do it tomorrow, but every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., I do a show called Sports Line Radio right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR. CBS Sports Radio in Baton Rouge. All right, so what I did was I just went over all the first 15 games of the New Orleans Saints. I went over all 15 games. Week 1, I got the Saints beating the Minnesota Vikings plus 3.5. Saints are getting plus 3.5. I got them covering the spread and winning the game. In Week 2, they played the New England Patriots at home. They're getting 5. They're plus 5. I got them winning the game and covering the spread. Week 3, the Saints go on the road to the Carolina Panthers. They're getting 3 points. I got the Saints winning that game and covering the spread. Week 4, the Saints play in London against the Miami Dolphins. The Saints are catching 3 points in that game. I got the Saints winning the game and covering the spread there. So the first 4 weeks of the season, the Saints are an underdog. The Saints aren't a favorite in any of their first 4 games. They got a bye week in week number 5, and then they finally become a favorite in week number 6 at home. They're a 2.5-point favorite against the Detroit Lions. I got the Saints winning that game and covering the spread. Week number 7, the Saints go to Green Bay, the Packers. Green Bay is a 7.5-point favorite. I think Green Bay will probably win that game. But I would never give the Saints 7.5 points. You can forget about that, Cap. I'm not giving the Saints 7.5 points. The way the Saints offense can score, the way they can move the ball with Drew Brees, throwing it down the field, I mean, there's no way I would ever give the Saints 7.5 points in any kind of football game, especially against a Green Bay Packers team that usually doesn't play well in the middle of the season. Aaron Rodgers usually having to tell everybody to relax and all that. Green Bay's defense ain't all that. I do think Green Bay will win the game, but the Saints plus 7.5, that'd be too hard to pass up. Week 8, the Saints are back at home. They're a 6-point home favorite against the Chicago Bears. I got the Saints winning that game and covering the spread. Week 9, the Saints play at home against Tampa Bay, a division game. Saints are a 1.5-point favorite. I got us winning that game and covering the spread. Week 10, the Saints go on the road. They're getting 2 points against the Buffalo Bills. I think the Saints can go on the road and beat the Bills, man. I know it's going to be cold up there and all of that stuff, but Man, Buffalo, they ain't been in the playoffs in 20 years, man. They stink. And look, if the Saints are going to have a winning season this year, like they have to after 3 straight losing seasons, the Saints have to have a winning season. And in order to have a winning season, you got to be able to beat the Buffalo Bills. Just like in Week 11, the Saints are a 2.5-point home favorite against the Washington Redskins. I mean, come on, Drew Brees against Kirk Cousins. Stop it. This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he could be the most overrated, overpaid quarterback in the NFL. Not in the history of the NFL. Believe me, there's been a lot of busts out there. Kirk Cousins isn't a bust, but he's no Drew Brees either, by any stretch of the imagination. I do have the Saints losing to the St. Louis Rams Week 12. For some reason, the Saints are only a 2-point favorite on the road in this game. I know it's an early line. The game's not going to be played for 6 months. But the odds makers are basically begging you to take the Saints -2. It's going to be a revenge game for the Los Angeles Rams. Remember the Rams beat the ever-living tar. The Saints beat the ever-living tar out of the Rams last time they played. They played Los Angeles in 2016 in the Superdome. And what a beating that was. That was an absolute beating that the Saints put on the Rams. This is going to be a catchback game. I actually have the Saints losing to the St. Louis Rams. I got them losing the game. And I obviously, if they're the favorite, they're not going to cover the spread. But then I got the Saints doing all right the last 4 weeks of the season. They get the Carolina Panthers at home in Week 13. They're a 2.5-point home favorite. I think they'll win that game. In Week 14, the Saints go to the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's a 7-point favorite. Atlanta's going to suck this year, man. The Falcons are never going to get over what happened to them in the Super Bowl last year or earlier this year. However you want to look at it, they're never going to get over it, man. It's going to take years for them to recover in that. I like the Saints on the road at Atlanta, +7, Week 14. Then the Saints come home Week 15 and 16. And I got them winning both of those games. I got them beating the New York Jets. They're a 6.5-point favorite in that game. And in Week 16, Atlanta comes to the Superdome. They play the Falcons 2 out of 3 weeks late in the season when it counts. The early line in this game is a picket. And that's what we're going to do with the Saints. We'll take New Orleans at a pick against Atlanta. I think the Saints are going to win all their home games. I think the Saints are going to play great ball at home. They're going to play good ball on the road. I got the Saints through the first 15 games of the season. I got them going 13-2. I think the New Orleans Saints are going to be one of the best teams in football. And look, if the Dallas Cowboys last year with a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back can go 14-2, I don't see why the New Orleans Saints can't do it this year. Look, man, it's all or nothing. After 3 straight losing seasons, we have another losing season or an 8-8 season. You got to get rid of the coach. You got to get rid of the quarterback. Yes, I know somebody's going to pick up Sean Payton. Yes, I know somebody's going to pick up Drew Brees. But come on, man, if you can't have a winning season in 4 straight years, you got to do something. And, of course, that's something that's going to be blowing the team up and blowing the front office up. You know, look, the Saints have picked up a lot of good players for this year. And they're going to make a run at it. The MeatMan, I'm gonna see if I can make some money of betting on the New Orleans Saints in 2017. All right, we got to take a break. We got to take another commercial break. When we come back, I got the season win total for the LSU Tigers in football. That's right, I got the season win total for the LSU Tigers. Also got the season win total for their nemesis, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Obviously, it's pretty much the only game that counts for the LSU Tigers all season. You gotta beat Alabama. You beat Alabama, even with another loss, you're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the SEC championship game, which, of course, if you win that, you're pretty much going to automatically go to the Final Four. So we'll check Alabama's season win total. We'll check LSU's season win total. We'll check some other season win totals when we come back. So don't touch that dial, Cap. You're listening to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. And we're doing it all right here like one big happy family on 910 AM WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. I can hear you.
Yeah, so I called TK and I asked him, if Trey had told him something or what the deal was, and apparently TK told me that Trey never, told TK for sure he was coming on.
All right.
I don't know.
All right. No big. I just think, once again, you kind of feel stupid saying that a guy's coming on the show and they don't come on because, as you can tell, and I mean this in all due respect, I could care less whether he comes on or not. Okay, I could literally care less, and he should have told me in advance because, hey, I don't need any guests, man. I don't need any phone calls. I just don't. If somebody wants to call, that's great, but as far as I'm concerned, I could go the whole 2 hours without taking any calls. So I just wish he would have. I wish he would have said he wasn't coming on. It wouldn't have bothered me one bit, not one inkling. All right.
Well, I just wanted to make sure you knew what the deal was, though. But no, I totally get where you're coming from. But all right, I'm gonna put it back on mute and coming back from break in 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
For what it's worth, I'll listen to you for 2 hours because I find you fairly entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I like the betting. I'm not really smart on that, and I dig the whole thing. But I need to start learning because as big of a sports guy as I am, I need to start making a couple of bets. So.
We got to take one more break, so this will be a quick segment.
All right, good deal.
All right.
Thank
you. All right. And welcome back to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I am broadcasting live from beautiful, sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports and gaming capital of the United States of America. I'm guest hosting the program today for Tommy Chrysan. I'm not sure where TK is. I've guest hosted his show a couple of times in the past. It's been the Grandparents' Day. Told me one time he was going on some business. This time he didn't tell me anything. Must be classified. Top secret where TK is. I have no clue where Tommy Chrysan is, but I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad to have you there as I got the LSU season win total, brother. For 2017, the over-under is 9. Over 9 minus $1.20. Under 9 minus $1.10. Wow. LSU's got to win 10 games for you to collect your bet. Can the LSU Tigers win 10 football games in 2017 under new head coach Ed Ogeron? Wow, that's a tough one, brother. 9 is a push, and of course 8 wins or less would be under. Wow. Wow, that's a tricky one right there, man, because let me tell you something. You got to have some cojones to bet LSU to win 10 games. I mean, man, ain't nobody knows what's going to happen. No Leonard Fournette, but obviously the Garius Geis guy, he's good. I mean, believe me, he's good. You ain't got to worry about him. You ain't got to worry about the running back position. But, man, I don't know if LSU's got 10 games in them. I don't know if they got 10 wins in them. I'm not sure, but the season win total on the LSU Tigers is 9. Over 9, minus $1.20. Under 9, minus $1.10. Now, the Alabama Crimson Tide, their over-under is 10.5. 10.5. That means Alabama has to win 11 games for you to cash your bet, and you got to lay $2 to win $1. Man, how loaded is Alabama going to be this year? I've never really seen anything like that before. Their season win total's 10.5, and you got to bet $2 to win $1. Alabama's got to win 11 games because it's at 10.5. So 10 wins or less for Alabama. The over-under losers, you got to win 11 games, and you got to lay 2-1 to get it. I mean, the odds makers are thinking that Alabama's going to have a pretty good team, and, man, you're going to have to pay a steep price if you're going to play over the total, over 10.5 season wins for the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Clemson Tigers, the defending college football champions, their over-under is 9. Over 9, minus $1.35. Under 9, plus $1.05. The Florida State Seminoles, their over-under is 9.5. They're expected to have a good year. Over 9.5, minus $1.45. That means you got to bet $145 to win 100. If you think Florida State's going to win 10 games or more, plus $1.15 coming back, $100 gets you $115 if you think Florida State is going to win 9 games or less. Some other teams with some pretty high numbers, the Louisville Cardinals, their season win total is 9. Over 9, minus $1.20. Under 9, minus $1.10. We got, let's see, we're just going to call it the good ones. Oklahoma, over under 9.5. Over 9.5, minus $1.45. Under 9.5, plus $1.15. The only other team with double-digit season win totals, Ohio State, 10. Over 10, minus $2. A 2-1 favorite. Under 10, plus $1.60. So Ohio State's got to win 11 games for it to go over the total. 10 games is a push. And anything 9 wins or under for Ohio State, that would go under the total. Oklahoma State, they got 9 wins for their season win total. Over 9 wins, minus $1.15. Under 9 wins, minus $1.15. Pretty much a pick it there. Penn State expected to have a good year. The Nittany Lions, over under 9.5. Over 9.5, minus $1.05. Under 9.5, minus $1.25. And let's see if they got anybody else worth reading out here. And USC, the Trojans, their over-under is 9.5. Over 9.5, minus $1.50. Under 9.5, plus $1.20. So USC's got to win 10 games, double-digit games. Plus you got to lay $1.50 if you like the Trojans over the total. The Virginia Tech Hokies, they got a season win total of 9, which means they got to win 10 games to cash the over. Over is minus $1.15. Under, also minus $1.15. And the Washington Huskies, Their over-under is 9.5, so they got to win 10 games too. Over 9.5, minus $1.15. Under 9.5, same thing, minus $1.15. And the Wisconsin Badgers, their season win total, 9.5, over 9.5, minus $1.40. Wisconsin has to win 10 games to cash the over bet, minus $1.40. You got to bet $140 to win 100. If you think Wisconsin, the Badgers, are going to win 9 games or less, you get plus $1.10. $100 gets you 110 in winning. So you go to the window, you bet under Wisconsin 9.5, and they go 9-3 on the season. You hand them 100. If the ticket wins, they give you back 210. Your original $100 that you bet, and the plus $110 that you make by winning the wager. All right, we got to take one more break. We got to squeeze one more commercial break in before we call it a day. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'm guest hosting today for the future Louisiana Broadcasting Hall of Famer, Tommy Chrysan. And you're listening to Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. And we're doing it right here on 910 AM WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. All right. And welcome back to Pelican Sports Radio, the final couple of minutes of Pelican Sports Radio for this Thursday, May 25th, 2017. Of course, Pelican Sports Radio is brought to you by Pelican Sports TV. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I've been guest hosting, sitting in for the future Louisiana Broadcasting Hall of Famer Tommy Chrysan. I'm not sure where TK is today. First time it was Grandparents' Day. The second time I guest hosted his show, it was business. And this time I didn't hear anything. It's confidential. Confidential, Cap. Top secret, Cap. Classified information. Even the MeatMan wasn't briefed on where TK was going today. And I appreciate everybody who has tuned in for the last 2 hours as we talked a little bit about the NBA playoff game going tonight, Game 5, as the Boston Celtics are going to play host to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are a 10-point favorite. I like Cleveland in this game. They got to wrap this thing up, and they got to wrap it up tonight. The NBA Finals start a week from tonight on June the 1st. The point spread on Game 1 is already out, even though Cleveland is still playing in their series. The Golden State Warriors will open Game 1 if they play the Cleveland Cavaliers as a 7.5-point favorite. The total 225. Golden State minus 335 on the money line. Cleveland coming back plus 270. That will be your Game 1 opening point spread for the NBA Finals if the Cleveland Cavaliers hold on to their 3-1 lead against the Boston Celtics. Like I said, I'm going to lay the 10 tonight with the Cavaliers. The total's 215. I'm not going to fool around with the total. Cleveland's minus 600 on the money line. The Boston Celtics coming back plus 450. It's a tough call to make. I do think Boston's going to play hard tonight, but I do think that they realize that it might as well come to an end because it's going to come to an end sooner or later, especially without your best player. I'll take the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, and I'll lay the 10 points on the road against the Boston Celtics. A couple of things. Week 1 of the college football regular season before we wrap things up today for Pelican Sports Radio. Week number 1, we got some pretty good games being played on September the 2nd. Florida State is going to play Alabama on a neutral field. Obviously, Florida State's picked to win 10 games this year. Alabama's picked to win 11. This one's going to be a real good matchup. Alabama on that neutral field right now is a 7-point favorite against Florida State. Another neutral field game is Virginia Tech, the Hokies, against West Virginia, the Mountaineers. Virginia Tech is a 3-point favorite in that September the 2nd game. Once again, that's on a neutral field. The LSU Tigers are going to play the BYU Cougars on a neutral field September the 2nd. And the LSU Tigers, a monster 14-point favorite. Wow. So LSU, a 2-touchdown favorite against BYU. The first game of the season on September the 2nd. You got Michigan, the Wolverines are going to play the Florida Gators on September the 2nd. The Michigan Wolverines, a 6-point favorite in that matchup. That's once again on a neutral field. And Texas A&M is going to play UCLA, I think at UCLA. Don't hold me to that. But that's going to be a good football game right there. Also on September the 2nd, UCLA, a 3-point favorite in that ball game. And then, of course, on Labor Day, September the 4th, that's a Monday, on a neutral site, the Tennessee Volunteers and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Tennessee is a 7-point favorite in that game. So, man, I tell you, a lot of big thinking for LSU. The Tigers, once again, a 14-point favorite, week number 1, on a neutral site against BYU. Their season win total is 9, which means they got to win 10 games in order to cash the over-under. A lot of people are thinking some big things for the LSU Tigers. Obviously, a top 10 team going into 2017. Of course, once again, it all comes down to that Alabama. And Alabama's picked to win 10.5 games minus $2. I mean, Alabama's got to win 11 games, and you got to bet 200 to win 100 if you think the Crimson Tide are going to go over the total of 10.5 wins. All right, man, we can just keep going on and on and on and on and on. I got so much stuff that we could talk about, but unfortunately, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this edition of Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. First up, I want to thank my man Adam back in the studio. Normally we got Don working the stuff, but we got Adam in today, and man, he got me connected up pretty easy. And man, we went the whole show, the whole 2 hours, no glitches, no problems, no nothing. So man, I appreciate Adam. He called me during the middle of the week. We tested all the equipment, and man, I tell you, it was a smooth ride today, man. No doubt about it. Of course, I always want to thank my man TK Tommy Chrysan for letting me guest host his show, getting my name out there. You never know who's going to give the MeatMan a chance, man. MeatMan's looking to get put in the ball game, and hopefully one day I will return. Of course, I want to thank Pelican Sports TV management for allowing me to do this show. My man Alan, the owner of Pelican Sports TV, only met him one time, but hey, I appreciate the chance to do the program. So don't forget, you can watch the rebroadcast of this show on YouTube, and you can Google it, put my name in there, put Dave Scandaliato. For Adam back in the studio, my name is always Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, man.
Man, I appreciate it. That was great. I appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you, man.
I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Adam. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. That is pretty much going to wrap it up for me, guest hosting Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV. My name is always Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I do a show every Friday called Sportsline, or 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. It's on from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time every Friday, at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. You can listen live to the broadcast at PelicanSportsTV.com, PelicanSportsTV.com. You can always subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dave Scandaliato at YouTube. And hey, it was great being here today, and I look forward to doing this again. Like I said, as always, my name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. Bet with your head, not over it. And I'll see you next time on Pelican Sports Radio, sponsored by Pelican Sports TV.